Can I show you my 15-week belly? There you are, you're inside.
Huge. Well, at this stage we think you're a boy.
You think you're a boy?
Because you're so big.
And it just feels like we keep calling you a boy.
But don't know yet. I'm not convinced. Could pop out a girl.
Hello. So I am 16 weeks and a day pregnant. I haven't eaten anything as well because normally when I get to the end of the day I look super pregnant because I've been, you know, all the food kind of goes into your belly. So this is it at the beginning of the day. My boobs haven't really changed much. The nipples have got really big and really dark. But apart from that, the size hasn't really changed. And in terms of pregnancy symptoms, well, the morning sickness has gone, the tiredness is gone. I think they say as you go into your second trimester, all of the kind of symptoms kind of abate and get a lot better, and they really have for me. I remember the 13th week actually was really bad. I had such a bad kind of headache, and it was like it lasted for 36 hours, and it was just a really bad tension headache, sort of migraine. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot more energized, not so sick. I'm able to cook now and enjoy food. Still really sensitive to smell. I'm just so happy to be pregnant. I keep rubbing my belly. 16 weeks today. Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah, there you go.
16 weeks. So it's definitely still in there.
Absolutely.
Sounds healthy, the heartbeat?
Absolutely fine. About 148 beats per minute, which is fine. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh my gosh. I am 18 weeks and 5 days today. When I was 17 weeks exactly, I went to work, and I remember I was a little bit late for the train that day, and I quickly had to kind of jog. And as soon as I sat down, I felt this slight twinge in my stomach on my left-hand side near my pelvis. And I was like, ooh. And then I had a few more twinges, and then by the afternoon, I was getting them every 3 to 4 minutes, these short, sharp pains. I thought I was losing the baby. I phoned up the early assessment unit, and I was seen by the midwife. She immediately put the Doppler on my belly. The baby's heartbeat was there. I was so relieved. I can't tell you how scared I was, because I had those short, sharp pains when I miscarried last time, and I just thought, please, not again. Saw the doctor, and she said, look, you're not bleeding. Everything looks fine down there. I said, you're tender on both sides. She said, these are what are known as round ligament pains. They're kind of growing pains where your uterus is expanding. They're completely normal, and she just reassured me, you're not losing the baby. Obviously, this is my second pregnancy, first pregnancy really, because I've never got this far before. So I just don't know what to expect. I don't know what round ligament pain is meant to feel like. I had read a bit about it, and someone had said, oh, it might be that, but you just don't know, because you have never had this feeling before. And actually the next day, the pains were less frequent, and then by the following day, I haven't had any kind of pain, sharp pain like that. I was seriously scared. I went to work, I think it was like on the Wednesday or the Thursday, and I sneezed 3 times in quick succession. I felt like the baby did like this somersault in my stomach, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the baby. And I was just like, that's so cool. Confirmation that the baby's still in there. I don't know why I keep saying, oh, the baby's still in there. Of course it's still in there, but for me, it's still a really surreal experience. I also went to Marks and Spencer's, and I bought myself a maternity bra. It's a nursing bra actually, and that's a really good tip if you want to save money. Don't just buy the maternity bra, buy a nursing bra. When you start breastfeeding, you can use this bra again. We've decided not to find out the sex. Our 20-week scan is in 2 weeks. And that is where you can find out what the sex is. But I just think we're so excited, we don't mind what we're having. Also, I think it's going to be an incentive for me to push the baby out, because then I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to have then when I push it out. So, yes, that's the baby bump.
Look at this beautiful profile. Can you see?
Wow.
This is the nose.
It's got my nose.
It's a big one.
Yeah. No, it's fairly pronounced.
The nose with the nostrils, upper lip, lower lip, and chin.
Wow.
Like this.
And big belly.
Yeah.
It's like you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So are we supposed to look away at any point?
Exactly. I don't know, can you resist till the end?
Yeah, we'll totally resist.
18 went for my 20-week scan today. Let me show you my 20-week bump. Here we go. The doctor that we had was really, really lovely. She took us to the room, I lay on the bed, and as soon as she put the probe in my belly, we heard the baby's heartbeat. This scan is called the anomaly scans. They're checking all the major organs. She also checked the face, checked the brain. She was like, oh, look at the baby's eyes. And you could even see the baby's eye lens. Like, I thought that was really, really cool. And she checked the baby's nose, and the baby has got the cutest nose. And I think it's got Mel's nose because it's much more pronounced than my little kind of flat nose. So that was really dinky. And she also checked for the cleft lip palate to see if there was any issues with that, but everything was normal. Baby just kicked. I think baby's like, yes, I've got dad's nose. She performed lots of tests on the brain and on the liver, the kidneys. She checked that the baby had hands and all the fingers. There's a lot more detail now that the baby's 20 weeks. We saw like a bottom view of the feet, and it was so cute. It was like the baby's footprint, and it was so, so cute. And she was like, oh, look, the baby's tugging at the umbilical cord. She gave me an internal scan as well. This was to check for my risk of preterm delivery and also preeclampsia. That all came back fine. She was like, oh, do you know that you've got fibroids? And I'd totally forgotten to tell her. So I said, yeah, no, I've got 2 subserosal fibroids. And the lady said they're still quite big, 5 centimetres, each one of them. She said it is actually quite uncommon to have fibroids like that big in pregnancy. I was like, thanks. And basically it just means they need to keep a close eye on me at 36 weeks. It may have some implications on delivery. It may be that it's a lot harder for me to have a natural delivery because I'm at a higher risk of my fibroids hemorrhaging. And actually I went to see the obstetrician, and she said to me, after I have given birth, they'll give me an injection so that my uterus contracts quicker so that I don't lose a lot of blood. And then the lady was trying to find the baby's heart. She's like, look, I can't get a good angle. We're gonna send you off for a walk for 20 minutes, come back and have something sweet in the hopes that the baby would have turned. We went and had like a yogurt, and then we came back. And this time it was a different sonographer and another consultant. So I was a bit like, okay, why is there like a different change in people? So immediately my back was like up. And they spent a good like 10 or 15 minutes just taking loads of photos, measuring the like blood flow in and out. And it became like really quiet in the room, and then they started like conferring like in whispers, and the level of panic just began to rise in me, and I just thought I was going to start crying. I looked over to Mel. His face was really worried because, you know, when they're like speaking in hushed tones, you think maybe there's something wrong. I literally breathed such a big sigh of relief when she's like, the heart looks completely normal. And in a way it's good that they're really concentrating and they're literally evaluating every chamber from the 4 chambers of the heart and having a really good look. That was really, really stressful. I've got to say, I was like panicking. I was just like, please let it be okay. I was like praying to God and saying, please let the heart be okay, because that's obviously a major organ. The baby needs that. I'm really enjoying being pregnant, although what I wanted to update you on was some of the kind of ailments that I have been experiencing in the last couple of weeks. The first of which has been leg cramps. Now, I have never experienced a cramp in my life before, and they've been mostly kind of isolated to my calves. I just wake up from sleep and I'm like, there's like excruciating pain, and you can actually feel the knot in my leg, in the muscle. It's really strange. It's like a proper little bump, a bulbous bump. So I've been going, Mel, cramp, and he's been kind of rubbing it out. And what has also helped is kind of to flex and point my foot, and that really helps to kind of stretch the cramp out. A couple of weeks ago, I also had my flu jab and whooping cough jab. My flu jab went in here. That wasn't painful at all. It was kind of like a cat scratch. The whooping cough jab was on this arm, and I think it's whooping cough. It's like a combination vaccination. Whooping cough, typhoid, diphtheria. Both of my arms swelled up for about 5 days, and that provides immunity to the baby as well. I've also been getting round ligament pain on my right side of my tummy, so just under here. There's a ligament that holds up your uterus, and as your uterus grows and expands and as the baby gets heavier, a lot of pressure and kind of strain gets put on the ligament. I have been really suffering with that since last Saturday, so about a week now. It's really quite intense cramping, and it's been lasting 5 or 10 seconds, and then it kind of goes away and then it will come back. So it's really restricted what I can do. I've been like struggling walking to work, so I've been working from home this week, because just each step it's just like ow. The cramping kind of has been referring pain to my hips, my back, my thighs and my glutes are getting a lot of pain just sitting down on my bum. And I'm hoping it's just an episode and it's not something I'm going to have to contend with for the next like 17 weeks. It really does affect your mobility. I have been doing stretches. I'm just hoping with the prenatal Pilates it will just give me some relief. I've even bought a supportive belly band that goes around the belly. You can only really wear it when you're standing up and moving around. As soon as you sit down, it gets all really tight on your bump and you just feel like you just want to kind of rip it off. And it's different actually from the round ligament pain I had last time, which was short, sharp pains every couple of minutes. This is not as frequent, but the pain is a lot longer. This is me at 23 weeks and 4 days. I'm quite round, I think. I still don't know whether I'm having a boy or girl. Everyone seems to keep saying girl. Oh gosh, these scars look really horrible, but they are my battle wounds from when I had my fertility operation. So there is the bump. Hello everybody, so today I am 27 weeks and 2 days pregnant, still on cloud 9. I had my 25-week midwife appointment and she wanted to see the report from the scan and she was like, oh, you've got 2 fibroids. I was like, yeah, I know. She said, oh, they're by your cervix. And I was like, they're by my cervix? I was always under the impression that they were at the top of my uterus. When I was going through all the dramas way before I found out I was pregnant, one of the doctors drew a picture of the uterus. I remember that the tumours, the fibroids, were at the top of my uterus, never at the bottom, at the cervix. She said it may mean that giving birth naturally is more difficult. I had heard that before, like at the 20-week scan, the consultant told me that. It means that your uterus might not contract in the normal way. It may be that the baby can't turn and go head down because the fibroids are there. It might mean that your cervix won't dilate the full 10 centimetres and it also might mean that you will hemorrhage a lot. I could see what she was trying to prepare me for, the fact that we are probably more than likely going to have a cesarean because it's just going to be too dangerous for not only the baby, but also for me because I'm going to hemorrhage a lot. So today we had our 27-week midwife appointment and she took out her tape measure and she went to measure me. So they measure you from like the top of your uterus, which I think is up here now, to your pelvic bone. And she said, oh, you're measuring large. And I said, well, how large? Because she said, you're measuring 3 centimetres more than what you should be. It's out of the range. So she said, I'm going to refer you for a growth scan just to check that the baby's okay. And I said to her, do you think it's the fibroids? I think it's the fibroids because I had come out really quickly, as you'll see from my first trimester vlogs. She said, yes, it's either that or it could be the fact that you have gestational diabetes. I was like, great. I actually have my blood test to test for diabetes on Christmas Eve. The main symptoms I've been having recently is really bad bleeding gums. I bleed so much now when I brush my teeth. I've also been experiencing, and I've never known this to be a thing, sciatic pain in pregnancy. So if I sit down for too long or when I wake up in the morning, I get up and I literally have such a sharp stabbing pain in my bottom. I get up and I try to walk, I literally can't. I'm like, ow, ow, ow. But she said that's sciatic pain and that's because your pelvis is now tilted to accommodate the baby and it's pressing on some kind of nerve and it usually only occurs on one side. As long as the baby's okay and I'm okay, I can deal with all this other stuff. It's baby. Baby's been kicking so much. Actually, when I go for a piddle in the night, which I do quite frequently, I'll go back into bed and I'll lie there and I've woken the baby up and the baby starts kicking and then I can't go back to sleep, so it's quite funny. Next week, I'll be 28 weeks and I will be in my 3rd trimester, which I'm super duper excited about. That's all for my 2nd trimester updates.